Or two. Here we are once again in this wonderful place where I get to talk to you. Yes, it'll always be a wonderful place to me, regardless of where you are, what you're going through. I wish to be here and give you some wisdom that may be a line of hope for you. And I get to tell a story, so I get to bless people. It's all my favorite things, all in one box. So, what is the wisdom of the night? Well, as we're moving through things, we many times have to figure out what do I do with that? Yeah. You have something happen and it is not inconvenient, it's incredibly inconvenient. No, it's more than that. But it is happening. Your body is responding, reacting in some fashion that panic attack, whatever. Something's happening. Now, here's a interesting thing. You can talk to your body. You can actually negotiate with your body. I found that out, and it works. Just have to say at this time we can discuss that. We can go here. Not now. It's not good. Right in the middle of everything doesn't make a good place for this to happen. So what you do is you very simply just ask your body to set it aside. Believe it or not, your body will. As long as you keep your part of the bargain, that when you get to that spot, that time space, you allow your body to deal with whatever it's dealing with. And as long as you keep that agreement, you can use that and it will help you get through some really tough spaces and a lot of sticky wickets. And you will find that this is live. I think I've got rid of all the noises now. Hopefully. Anyway, you will find that this works. Give it a go. Well, let's get to that interesting story, to that interesting moment we just left it at, isn't it? He's just dumped that stuff in, the portal's disappeared, and he hears a hum. Turns around, the lady's standing right there. And he thought his senses were pretty good and that they would pick up somebody coming close, but apparently not. He goes, she goes, you just, yep, I did the hunting, I got it done, portal's gone, stone's paid for, we're safe. She looked at him and she said, there's a lot more to that story than just a little bit of hunting. That was a lot of things we required to come up with. They're all there. The portal has agreed and it's gone. Protection stone is now ours and the blessing that came with it. She goes, I don't know quite who you are or what you are, but thank you. He just did a slight bow and said, I'm very tired. Going to go and turn in now. She goes, we'll talk about it again in breakfast. He goes, all right. Stumbled off like he was trying to get used to another form, she says to herself. Seen this before. But he seems to be on our side, so we'll see where this goes. She was tired herself, so she went. did what she said she was going to do in the first place. The very intuition hadn't told her to get up and check the portal. Intuition wrapped with God, pretty good thing, apparently. And she is glad that the protection stone is now fully theirs and the blessing that it entails is theirs. And that leaves her in this space of slowly drifting into rest. She sleeps quite deeply, doesn't remember dreaming, but does remember waking to something smelling really good. The man from somewhere else is cooking again. Something different, but something very smelly, yummy. Rolls out of bed, gets herself ready, and out the door she goes, heading for that area where it had become kind of a community kitchen. Everybody shows up, everybody gets fed. This time it was just him and her. No one else, like everyone else, had been waved off or been asked to give them some space. She sat down to an amazing looking breakfast. She didn't have a clue what it was. Something native and smelling very good. Couldn't describe it. Not really. Not eggs. No. Not toast. Hmm. But something. Like a hash, kind of. Yeah, let's call it a hash, she said to herself. As she sat down, he sat down too. He said, I guess you need some information. She goes, that would be helpful. One doesn't usually go out and get like that many pieces and parts and bits and stones and things in one night. He looks around and then he wiggles his hands and she realizes there is a shimmering energy around them. She looks at him and goes, neat trick. And he goes, well, that'll keep all the eavesdroppers away. He said, I'm imagining that since you caught me doing that, you know that I'm probably not just this. She said, yes. She said, I've ran into your kind before, um, shifters from one shape to another. Some good, some not so good. He chuckled, I'm one of the good ones. You'll find that out over time. I don't ask you to believe me now. I was exiled from my place because I chose to follow God. Something like you, he said. She looks at him and goes, yeah. Well, I didn't know I was being exiled, but apparently I've been moved on to a few places, but this is the last one, apparently. The shimmer has gone away, the wind has gone away. Guess this is it, at least for now. Well, we're doing a good thing here. And he said, yes, I am one of those, he said. And she said, what are you? And he goes, well, a dragon. He said, sometimes human, others, or at least humanoid, I guess you could call it. A bit of both. Well, you've done us a good deed, and you've helped us many times, and I imagine you'll help us a few more. So I'm just going to say welcome again, and this is a sanctuary. This is a sanctum. You're welcome here. Prince shows up at that moment, walks right through his field, and he looks and he goes, interesting. He goes, oh, I've seen those before. So they're easy enough to walk through when you know what you're doing. He said, so did you tell her? And the man from somewhere else says, you know, oh, I've known for a while. And thank you, by the way. It seems the portal has gone away. You're doing? Yes. Good. Now we have the protection stone. Suppose we should go rouse those sages and get them to place it upon their tower so that it can do its job. Right at that moment, there was a huge thwack. Whoomp. And they waited, and nothing hit the wall. They went scrambling, came up the wall and looked, and there was a very big machine way back in the desert, firing very huge shells, but they weren't getting through. The answer for that would be that the sages were awake and they were on the top of the tower and they had installed the protection stone. But also the lawmakers seemed to have put something in place too so that weapons of that nature could not be used. One of those young sages, mages, whatever you wish to call them, pointed his finger at the device. And all of a sudden it was in pieces on the ground. Not blown up, not destroyed, just in pieces. And the two individuals that had been in it were laying on the ground and their armor was in pieces. And as they scurried away, they all breathed a sigh of relief and, well, that's over. They'll be back. The young female sage said they're always come back. And so they stood on the tower and waited only a few minutes. Three very large machines showed up. Standing between those machines were sages, rogues, not part of the enclave. They learned their magic and sold out to the sage. Said, this is about to get interesting. The lady looked at him and said, well, the protection's still on hold? Oh, yeah. I don't think the protection stone is the thing that's protecting us at the moment. Although it could. I don't know how many times, but it could take at least 3 or 4 of those shells. Those mages are going to try to break the protection of the lawgivers. I would advise to shut your eyes. Lady goes, why? And goes, just please do so. And so they all shut their eyes, and there's this blinding flash. The mage, the sage hadn't really spoken, just kind of followed them, said, well, that's interesting. White light magic. Powerful stuff. Trying to break the lawmaker's mechanism that's stopping the shells. All three of those machines fire. No shells get through. The sages, mages say, um, this is our bit of the war. We'll deal with this. Need to go down and deal with those machines. We can't do that because they're being protected by the sages. And so she looked at the man that had come from somewhere else and she goes, can you? And he goes, I can. He said, but I would prefer to be without revealing myself right now. She goes, understood. When two individuals that had come that had been really messed up and had to be healed, two women said, we can deal with them. And who are you? And I said, well, we are outcasts from the Lawmakers Guild. We'll leave it there. So let's find that wonderful blessing. Aren't they beautiful? You know, everyone requires joy. Come on. Joy is beautiful. God always paints with joy, always paints with peace, and gives you hope, overflowing, beautiful hope. And then starts to pour in wisdom and knowledge and understanding so that you can connect to your amazing, uniquely used talent, your amazing message, and start to connect you with the people that you came to connect with. And God takes a brush and paints all of the other things that cannot even be spoken, according to his will, according to his wish. According to your will and wish, this can be. Let's have a word of prayer. We come before you, Father, Spirit, Son, and we are eternally grateful for protection, for provision, for all of those things that you give us freely, willingly. As we build relationship with you, these things become even bigger, brighter, more profound. And that's what we wish for each one of these listening, is that they find that relationship, that intimacy with you, that way of being that only they can be with you. Let them grow and become and expand into everything you wish them to be. Let the enemy be pushed back for a while. Give them a rest and a peace so that they can find their way to you. Give them courage and strength as they move through this day. And the grace and mercy that always overflows from you to them. And we say thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude. Standing in awe and honor, respect, allowing all glory to flow. Father, Spirit, Son. This is, and so this is. Again, as I've always said, if you require help, we're here. God's the ultimate helper, and sometimes it needs a human voice. Well, I'm here. Don't know everything. Can't fix everything, but God can. And He can show me what you require. So just reach out. I'm an encourager, mentor, guide, many things been called. Even the monk of the human condition a couple of times. Yeah, for you, I just wish to be a listening ear, healing balm, straight from Jesus' heart to yours. So if you require that, you can just reach out to me at eric@starthealing.me, eric@starthealing.me, eric@starthealing.me. So you be blessed. We'll talk again soon. Blessings.